Growing potatoes in the Philippines is an experience that combines tradition with a touch of innovation. Potatoes may not be the first crop that comes to mind when you think of the Philippines, but they are surprisingly well suited to our climate. With the right techniques, you can cultivate a bountiful harvest that can thrive in our diverse landscapes. First, let's talk about the soil. Potatoes prefer well-drained, loose soil, rich in organic matter. In the Philippines, you might find that sandy loam or clay loam works best. Before planting, it's essential to prepare the soil by tilling it and mixing in compost or well-rotted manure. This not only enriches the soil but also improves drainage, which is crucial because potatoes are prone to rot if they sit in waterlogged conditions. When it comes to choosing the right variety, there are several options that do well in our tropical climate. Varieties like granola and binch are popular choices. They're resilient and can adapt to our varying weather conditions. It's also important to source disease-free seed potatoes. You can either buy them from local suppliers or, if you're feeling adventurous, you can even grow your own from store-bought potatoes. Just make sure they have eyes or sprouts before planting. Timing is everything. In the Philippines, the best time to plant potatoes is during the dry season, typically from November to February. This timing helps avoid the heavy rains that can lead to diseases. Planting them in raised beds can also help with drainage and make it easier to manage weeds. Once you've planted your seed potatoes, it's time to care for them. Watering is crucial, especially during the early growth stages. However, be careful not to overwater. A good rule of thumb is to keep the soil consistently moist but not soggy. As the plants grow, you'll want to hill them up. This means adding soil around the base of the plants. This practice not only supports the plants but also encourages more tuber growth. Fertilization is another key aspect. Using a balanced fertilizer can promote healthy growth. Look for one that has a good mix of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Just be cautious not to over-fertilize, as this can lead to lush foliage but fewer potatoes. Pest management is something you'll need to keep an eye on. Common pests like aphids and beetles can be a nuisance. Regularly inspecting your plants and using organic pesticides can help keep them at bay. You can also introduce beneficial insects like ladybugs, which can help control pest populations naturally. As your potatoes begin to flower, it's a sign that tubers are forming underground. This is an exciting time. Depending on the variety, you can start harvesting as early as 2 to 3 months after planting. If you want new potatoes, you can gently dig them up when they're still small. For larger, mature potatoes, wait until the foliage starts to yellow and die back. Harvesting is a rewarding experience. Use a spade or fork to carefully lift the plants, being cautious not to damage the tubers. After harvesting, let them dry in a shaded area for a few hours before storing them in a cool, dark place. Proper storage can extend their shelf life and keep them fresh for your meals. Growing potatoes in the Philippines is not just about the crop. It's about connecting with the land and understanding the cycles of nature. It's a journey filled with learning, patience, and, ultimately, the joy of enjoying your homegrown produce. Whether you're making a hearty potato stew or crispy fries, there's nothing quite like the satisfaction of knowing you've nurtured those potatoes from seed to table.